Right, welcome to the third season of the South African Test Cricket Captain 2020 Career Mode. This is the squad for the upcoming England series. Made a few changes to the last squad we hadn't played with. As you can see here, Hamza has been brought back in, Van Tonda. We also have a couple of new players, such as this guy here, Finito Mahil, or Mail, or however you want to pronounce his name. He, unfortunately, because we are playing England in June, there is no South African first class form. So unless players are getting picked to play county cricket, it is going to be very unlikely they will be being picked based on their current year form. Jesse Christensen is also one of these players who falls into this selection as well. I had to go off his last year form, which he was averaging 56, quite respectable, and he's only 23 from Western Province. Hopefully this tour can give him a bit of experience and we can go from there. We also have Kylie Varini, who is the backup wicketkeeper in case de Kock gets injured, but it's more than likely he will not be featuring in this test series. We also brought in Bourgeon Fortune, who is a all-rounder. He is 27. He has an okay batting average, but his bowling average was the best for the all-rounder sport in first-class cricket for what I was looking at. We also brought in Thabo Schuengevil, 19-year-old spinner from Border. He had pretty good statistics with a bowling average of 31 and best figures of 5 for 60 for a 19-year-old, so quite decent figures. And we also brought in Zakaria Paruk, a medium pacer, just because it is in England, and England is notoriously known for being suited towards medium pace bowlers. And he's only 24 as well, so we have a bit of youth in the squad, which is what I kind of wanted to go with. But as we get into the first test, England are going to be a really tricky opposition to play against. It is going to be obviously in England, where generally most wickets are usually bowler friendly. You can get the tests where you will make 400s, but more than likely it's going to be really hard to play against because of obviously the reverse swing and the way the ball swings over in England. It is a 5-match test series. I completely forgot that South Africa do play England in a 5-test series. I thought it was a 4-test series, but we will get on to the first test. I am going to actually leave out Maharaj for the first test because I want to see what the wicket is like. Usually you want to go with 4 quicks or 3 quicks and a medium pacer. Usually spin is not very good in England, to be fair. I mean, it can be good, but most of the time you will win based on your fast bowling performances. And we do win the toss, so we will bat first. You'll see Ranyard Van Tonda is in the opener spot. I didn't bring a backup opener, so I'm going to roll with these two and hope that they can carry me over the line. I have faith in Milan. Hopefully Van Tonda can provide a bit of faith and solidify his spot at the top of the order, because I wasn't really feeling bringing Markram and I wasn't really feeling bringing the other openers that I had trialled. And plus Van Tonda is only, I think, 27, so he's not old. As Milan goes out for 27. Again, it's just fails for Milan in his first innings. I don't know what it is, but he always seems to fail in his first innings. Dean Olga unfortunately fails as well. He has to he's playing for probably his career. I'm being a bit lenient towards Dean Olga. He is 35, so he needs to be posting some big scores fairly soon. Otherwise, I will look to change him. For youth, it'd be the same with what I did with Du Plessis. I can't just have him scoring big scores every 10 innings. I need a decent amount of runs from my number 3. Zubair Hamza, although he's come into the test team, I have given him an extended break in all formats, so he can develop his game in all the formats. He actually makes 50 here, which is pretty good. I do hope he can be a good player, and I'm sure you will see throughout this series I will continue to develop him. As we do set a new user record partnership, we are hopefully going to make a decent total. Usually depending on the wicket in England, 300 usually average. Sometimes 250 is a good score. It just depends on what the wicket's doing and where this is at. I don't know where it was at. If it was at Lords or somewhere, then 250 is probably a good total. But in saying that, Van Tonyard brings up his first 100, and same with Hamza. Fantastic to get both of them to get their first hundreds in the same innings, and to do it so, emphatically. Like, you got here a record partnership of 218. So they are getting on with the runs, which is good to see. So I am really curious as Van Tonder goes out to see what we do make. Surely here we got to be pushing 400 as we lose back-to-back wickets. Bryson does not last long. And Hamza, that's 3 quick wickets. And Hamza goes out. Hopefully Mulder and De Kock can hang around a little bit longer and push that up to 400. Because if you look at that scorecard, pretty much Van Tonder and Hamza got us the runs there. Milan failed, Alga failed, Snyman failed, and Bryson failed. So we do have to develop a bit of a, what would you say, a bit more consistency at the top of the top 5 batsmen. It's going to be hard though. It's extremely hard to get a fully consistent top 5, but I would like to see pretty much all of my top 5 averaging high 30s, early 40s, with at least 2 batsmen averaging 50s. And we know that Milan is averaging 50s, and I think Snyman is averaging in the 50s as well. So as De Kock, though, he has been quite good in the last year and a half. He has pushed his average up into the early 40s. He was hanging around 37 when I started, and he does bring up another 100, a really good captain's innings there, although he does go out quite shortly after. We will declare. I think 493 is probably a really good total to declare. I probably could have put on another 20 runs, but again, we also run the risk of also losing 2 quick wickets successfully. But this could be a batting wicket, and based on the wicket, that hasn't really done much for our bowlers at all. So we do have to hope we can get an early wicket, as England are going to go for the 100 partnership, and they probably will get it, and they do, which is a bit disappointing, as we do have, who was that? Crawley is out from Rabada, and Rabada gets back-to-back wickets, although he is quite fatigued, so we do have to swap him with Mulder, who has been very inconsistent. He has a couple of games where he is very economical and he goes at like 2, 3 and over, and then he goes at 7 or 8 and over. But usually I think his average is about 4 and over, which is still quite high, but he is an all-rounder, so I guess we can put that past him for the time being. As Dominic Sibley brings up 100, Pothos has done nothing this test, so I'm going to bring Alga on as a part-timer, and I'm going to actually bring on Snyman, because, oh wow, he does get a wicket in his first ball. In his very first ball of bowling in Test cricket, he gets the wicket. And Snyman maybe has some hidden potential as a bowler here. And he is bowling quite good, like 3 and over for a part-timer. For a guy bowling his first bowling is quite good. But England, though, as I've been talking, they're pushing up to 400. I'm not too sure who Addy is. He must be a new player or from their development. But Ben Stokes looks like he is playing another fantastic performance. Edery I've heard of. Obviously, Crawler and Sibley are the openers currently. Pope, they've had a more a lot of keepers as of late. England with Ben Foakes, Ollie Pope, Josh Butler, Johnny Bairstow. They've just got so many keepers to choose from. And their bowling lineup's fairly stacked as well. With I can see no Archer, no Broad, but I'm sure that we'll probably see them in some of the 5 Test matches. They just must have a really good lineup. But England do nearly make a total of 498, and we do bowl them out for 476. England, though, were sort of saved by Ben Stokes' big innings in the second part of that phase for England. They were in a bit of trouble, but then Ben Stokes steadied the ship. This is a little bit of awkward waters here. We do need to at least get a decent total of lead, because if we set a poor lead of under 180, it's going to be very challenging to defend that, because we know England have a very aggressive squad, so there is more than likely that they can get the runs fairly quickly. But Milan again proves, I don't know what it is, but for some reason, he always seems to make 50 plus runs in the second innings. I don't know how I can fine tune that, whether it's just a thing that he is probably consistent at with getting runs in the second innings, because it is a bit disappointing for him not to score runs in the first innings. But he does not carry on for that 100, and that is probably one of the few times where he doesn't convert a 50 into 100. You can see here we do lead by 179 or 180 odd runs. So we do have to hope we can get at least a 250 run lead. But England are bowling Joe Root now, which pretty much confirms that they've given up bowling us out for this innings. But I will probably declare and try and have a crack at bowling him out. I do think 258 is probably good enough, but we'll try and get a bit more runs. 268, we might get closer to 300 as Olga goes out and Zubai Hamza is in and he goes out as well. 295 we're going to declare there. We have less than 2 sessions to go. It should be nearly impossible for England to chase this down. It would have to be a monumental chase to score nearly 300 runs in 2 and a bit sessions. So it is a bit, although we are conceding a bit too many runs here, I'm not sure why we are going at like 6 and over. We could be in a bit of trouble here. I'm going to have to completely down the aggression, because this is my only concern with Cricket Captain, as you set pretty much a near surpassable total of 300 within 2 sessions, and the AI for some reason, well, every time I've set a total near that and tried to defend that, I always seem to somehow nearly lose. I don't know whether it's whether the AI is just extremely hard to get out in their last innings when they're going for a total, but I've noticed that quite a lot, although that's surely out, and it is. Morda does get the wicket. I'm still not really convinced that we can hang on here. They do have a session to go, and 139 runs is probably more than gettable, because generally you get around 80 to 100 runs per session. So if they go a bit more than the required average, they will get this total. If we can clean up one of these two, we should hopefully see us win here. We just need to get rid of, hopefully, Ben Stokes, because he is the danger man. I'm not convinced that Addy can win them the game. Ben Stokes is more than likely going to win, and that is pitching outside leg. We've seen Ben Stokes plenty of times carry England over the line when they looked gone. And can he do it again? They need 65 runs. That's caught. No, it's not caught behind. 50 odd runs with 52 minutes. That's nearly a run a minute. So they should be able to get, you would think, out of nowhere. Is that out? It is. Addy is out. We're going to get Snyman back into the attack because he bowled really well in that first innings. Unfortunately, Rabada is going too expensive for my liking, so we will get in Gideon for the little bit and Snyman. Can he get clean Weaver up? And he does. England need 22 runs and they have 3 wickets remaining. Ben Stokes, though, is playing a fantastic innings. 4 runs to win. They're going to surely win. We can't do anything here. There's no way we can win. Mulder to Stokes comes in and that's it. England's going to steal the victory. And a very disappointing performance that we couldn't defend that total. Well played to Ben Stokes. Clear man of the match performance. And I will see you guys for the next test.